Welcome to this deep dive. If you are tuning in right now, you've probably noticed a pretty distinct shift happening lately.
Oh, absolutely.
The AI news cycle has gone from this, steady, manageable stream to just a massive, relentless current. And keeping up with it honestly feels like a second full-time job.
It really does.
So that is the exact problem we are solving for you today. Our mission for this deep dive is to take a huge, rapid-fire stack of today's most crucial AI updates, strip away all the noise, and extract the exact insights you need to stay well-informed without feeling totally overwhelmed.
Right, because the goal here is to synthesize all this data into actual leverage. I mean, knowledge only gives you an edge when you understand the broader context and actually know how to apply it.
Exactly. And we have a really dense, high-energy agenda for you today.
Yes, we do.
We are unpacking a major principled resignation at OpenAI over defense contracts. Then we're looking at Anthropic's Claude literally becoming a master cybersecurity auditor for Mozilla Firefox.
Which is a wild story.
It is. After that, we'll do a rapid-fire roundup of the industry's architectural shifts. And finally, we'll curate a list of trending AI tools to boost your productivity.
Lots of ground to cover.
So let's jump right into this first story with OpenAI. Kalinowski, who is OpenAI's robotics director, has officially resigned.
Right, and this is a significant indicator of internal shifts at the frontier labs. It stands out from your standard Silicon Valley executive shuffle.
Yeah, because to really grasp the weight of this, you have to look at the timeline. She just joined OpenAI this past November.
Coming over from Meta, right.
Exactly, from their AR glasses team. And her specific mission was to spearhead the complete rebuild of OpenAI's robotics division. Because remember, they actually shut down their robotics research back in 2020 to focus entirely on language models.
Right.
So bringing her in was a massive signal. But now she's walked away and she stated publicly that her decision was, quote, about principle, not people.
And the specific language in her statement is what the whole industry is zeroing in on right now. She explicitly noted that the Pentagon deal was pushed through, these are her words, without the guardrails defined, specifically pointing to AI surveillance and lethal autonomy.
Yeah. And there's wider context here, too, because VP of Research Max Schwartzer also departed last week for Anthropic.
It's a clear pattern.
It is. Now, looking at this strictly from a market reporting perspective, and just to be completely clear for you listening, we are not taking sides on the military AI or defense contracts here. We're staying strictly neutral.
Right, we're just reporting Kalinowski's stated reasons and the market reaction.
Exactly. And the market impact is incredibly tangible. Consumer backlash is happening right now. Claude has climbed to #1 on the App Store, while at the exact same time, ChatGPT cancellations are soaring.
And the reason this specific resignation carries so much weight comes down to that leap from pixels to the physical world. When we talk about autonomy in software, we're usually talking about a chatbot looping a script. It's abstracted. But Kalinowski was heading up physical robotics. When you combine defense contracts with robotics, autonomy suddenly means physical hardware operating independently in the real world.
It removes all the philosophical abstraction.
It does. OpenAI can weather angry tweets, sure. But a senior hardware lead publicly resigning and name-dropping lethal autonomy, that hits completely differently. It tells the industry that these internal debates are no longer just thought experiments about future risks.
They're immediate practical deployment problems.
Exactly.
Now, that leap from software to physical execution sets a really heavy tone. But even if we stay purely in the software realm, the capabilities are scaling at a rate that's, well, it's tough to comprehend.
Oh, the Firefox audit.
Yes. Anthropic just revealed that their model, Claude Opus 4.6, spent 2 weeks auditing the Mozilla Firefox codebase alongside the Mozilla team.
And just to establish a baseline for anyone who doesn't spend their days in software development, Firefox is not some weekend project.
No.
It's an open source browser with decades of history. It's backed by massive bug bounty programs, paying independent researchers thousands of dollars to try and break it.
It is battle-tested.
As hardened as software gets.
Which makes these numbers staggering. In just 2 weeks, Claude found 22 vulnerabilities, and 14 of those were high severity.
Wow.
Patches are already live for hundreds of millions of users, but the speed, this is the crazy part, it took Claude exactly 20 minutes to flag its first flaw.
20 minutes to find a crack in tens of millions of lines of code.
Right. And while Anthropic's team was manually verifying that first one, Claude racked up 50 more.
That's just relentless.
By the end of it, the AI filed 112 reports across roughly 6,000 files. Those 14 high-severity bugs accounted for nearly 20% of Firefox's most serious patches for the entire year.
But there's a second half to the security equation here, which is exploitation.
Yes, the limitations.
Right. Finding the flaw is incredibly valuable, but the sources highlight a clear limitation in Claude's offensive capabilities. It tried to write working exploits for these vulnerabilities, essentially trying to prove the bugs could be weaponized.
And it struggled.
It did. Out of hundreds of attempts, it only managed 2 working attacks. And both of those required Firefox's security sandbox to be completely removed to function.
Right. So to use an analogy, it's like the AI could spot the microscopic crack in a bank vault's wall, but it couldn't pick the lock to get inside unless the front doors were already left wide open.
Exactly. It's an unmatched building inspector, but a relatively poor burglar. For now.
For now, yeah.
Because Anthropic explicitly noted this gap won't last. Writing exploits requires multi-step lateral reasoning, and these models are improving exponentially at that.
So the implication for developers listening is pretty urgent.
The window to lock down your human-written code bases is closing fast. If an AI can find 14 high-severity 0 days in a heavily audited browser in days, a malicious actor with a dedicated model will shred a standard corporate code base a year from now.
It's a full-blown arms race of code auditing.
Completely.
Okay. Let's transition into a slightly more measured, methodical breakdown of the rest of the day's major headlines. We want to make sure you get a clear, broad view of the landscape right now. Let's start with Luma's pivot.
Right. They just unveiled Uni 1.
Which is huge because they are traditionally known for video, but Uni 1 is their first model combining reasoning and image generation in a single architecture.
And this is a major architectural shift. Usually you have a reasoning model that interprets your prompt, and then it plays a game of telephone, handing instructions to a separate diffusion model to paint the pixels.
Luma is removing that telephone game.
Exactly. The AI is actually understanding spatial reasoning and visual logic natively.
Moving from visual reasoning over to automation, Anthropic is rolling out scheduled tasks in Claude Code.
This is a quiet update, but it has massive workflow implications.
Yeah, coding agents can now run prompts on a continuous loop. They can monitor builds, check logs, and autofile pull requests on a set cadence.
The AI just lives in your system doing rounds. It's the dream for a lot of startups, though building in this space is still incredibly volatile.
Which brings us to the startup drama. Cluely CEO Roy Lee publicly admitted to fabricating the startup's revenue figures in a 2025 interview.
And this retraction happened after they pivoted from an AI cheating tool to meeting notes.
Right. It really highlights the intense pressure founders are under to show exponential growth in this current hype cycle, sometimes pushing leadership over the line.
The business fundamentals still matter no matter how good the tech is.
Very true. Turning to the geopolitical scale, and again, keeping our reporting strictly neutral and objective here regarding the efficiency metrics, the Wall Street Journal reported on AI in the Iran conflict.
Right. The logistics metric they found is fundamental.
The Army's 18th Airborne matched its Iraq-era targeting capabilities using just 20 people instead of 2,000, thanks to AI tech.
A 99% reduction in human capital for the exact same operational output. That redefines the logistics and scale of modern operations.
It's a massive shift in efficiency. And speaking of efficiency, in the open source world, Andrej Karpathy just released a repository called autoresearch.
This is a glimpse into the next phase of development. It allows AI agents to autonomously run and iterate on LLM training experiments in a continuous loop.
AI researching how to build better AI.
And doing it on a single GPU. It brings AI training out of the massive corporate server farms and into the hands of independent researchers.
Which is the perfect segue to the final part of our deep dive today. We've covered the heavy news and the systemic shifts, but now we want to shift the focus entirely to practical application for you.
The tangible leverage.
Exactly. Let's walk through today's trending AI tools that you can actually use to boost your everyday productivity. First up is Poster.sh.
It turns any idea into a stunning poster in seconds. Great for quick visual mockups.
Yep. Next is Mexty. This is for creating personalized, interactive e-learning content using AI. Instead of static slides, it adapts dynamically to the user.
Very cool. And then there's Key Visual, which is huge for marketing. It auto-generates marketing content by syncing your Figma designs directly with your CMS data.
So you update a price in your database, and your marketing graphics automatically regenerate.
Without a designer lifting a finger.
Love that. And finally, for information overload, there's Liminary. It lets you save everything, articles, research, and uses AI to recall exactly what you need right when you need it.
Like a perfectly organized second brain.
And just to briefly recap the tools we mentioned earlier as part of this broader ecosystem. We talked about Codex Security, which is OpenAI's repo scanner to patch bugs. We just covered Carpathy's auto-research for running LLM loops on a single GPU. And of course, Luma's Uni 1 model for native reasoning and image generation.
When you look at that list, you realize you're no longer just a creator manually typing code. You are a director of capable agents.
That's the exact takeaway. Well, we have covered a massive scope today, from international defense controversies to Claude autonomously hunting 0 days and AI agents running their own training loops.
It's a lot to synthesize, but understanding these shifts is how you maintain your edge.
Definitely. And before we go, we want to leave you with a final mind-bending question to chew on. With AI now autonomously hunting down vulnerabilities in decades-old software and agents like autoresearch training their own next-generation models, how long until the primary bottleneck in tech isn't human coding speed, but our human ability to simply trust what the AI is building behind the scenes?
When the machine moves faster than our ability to comprehend its work, trust becomes the ultimate currency.
Something to really think about. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. If you found this shortcut helpful, please follow the show and share this deep dive with someone who needs to stay well informed.